Hello, this is Two-Way Radio. We are here this day, and we urge you to join us. Those of you who are followers of Two-Way Radio, we just want to make a very short video on what is Halloween. What do you think about Halloween? Many believe it's a pagan holiday. What is your thought about Halloween? So this is a short video. Join us, share the video, and make a comment. We'll be glad to read your comments on what you think about Halloween. The day is going to be a few days from now, going to be on the 31st of this month. So what is it? What is Halloween? We have seen a lot of scary photos. We have seen a lot of decorations that are depicting, some spirits or some, dark word or whatever you call it. And so this is why we try to see how we can be. This is a societal issue. This is something confronting the society that we find ourselves in, especially those of us who are living in America. There's no year that you pass in today that you will now see a pumpkin that has been designed as a jack-o'-lantern. Jack-o'-lantern. I think in Liberia, most of us are used to the word jack-o'-lantern. But honestly, myself, I didn't know what jack-o'-lantern really meant until I started to read about this Halloween. So, what is Halloween? That's the question. What is Halloween? And before, by the way, let me say this is James Johnson. Nothing strange about me. I guess playing with computers and playing with softwares, and so the design you see here is just the same James Johnson, except that the software that I play with is called getting used to these electronics. So yeah, this is the same James Johnson who is always here. I'm your host. So indeed, stay with me. So what is Halloween? That's the question we wanted to answer. What is Halloween? It is not Halloween now, but we are getting towards Halloween. So everywhere you find, you see pumpkin being decorated. You see pumpkin well designed, a candle placed in the pumpkin. And that is called what jack-o'-lantern. I didn't know that jack-o'-lantern originated from the this Halloween. So indeed, we're going to read a little bit about that, and you also can tell us what you're reading, what is your understanding of Halloween. Okay, so what is Halloween? The question can be answered. We have gone to search for what is Halloween, and what Britannica is telling us that Halloween may have developed partially from the pre-Christian holiday Samhain, which was celebrated in early medieval Ireland around November 1st as the beginning of a new year. All right. It seems to have developed mostly from Christian feast of the dead from later in the Middle Ages. It says, including All Saints Day on November 1st and All Souls Day on November 2nd. By the 9th century, October 31st was being celebrated as All Hallows Eve, later contracted to Halloween throughout Western Christendom. So, what is Halloween? Halloween was, from what we are reading, it was celebrated as a way of remembering the dead. It was celebrated remembering the dead, those who died. Particularly so, those who were Christians and died, people felt that it was the time to remember the saints. We talk about the saints are those who people believe are purified, those who are expected to go to heaven in the Christian way of saying it. So they were being considered as a saint. So even though they were dead, but this day was intended to celebrate the dead. I think most of us still do that, right? Like in a Liberian setting, there is a special memorial day where people want to remember the dead. People go and clean the graves, and people have fun. People even get drunk, and people fight. People do a lot more ugly stuff. Okay, so in the America, they have set aside this day, Halloween, as a special day. Now, people call it, some people consider it as a pagan day. And some people don't even allow children to wear the costume. People wear a lot of scary costume, and I mean, just in commemoration or in remembrance of this day. But the main purpose, the takeaway information of Halloween is it was created for the sole purpose of remembering the dead and talking about now there's a phrase here that say well they said the dead from later in the Middle Ages, including all saints. So when I say all saints, talking about those who were considered to be righteous group of persons, even though they were dead, but there was time where people thought to remember them. All right, and by that was on November 1st. November 1st, they used to remember all saints. Then they say what on November 2nd, they remember all souls. Day on November 2nd, all souls. So again, we have to understand what it means when we say all souls. So if they had November 1st to celebrate all saints, meaning that they had differences between the dead. There were people who were dead and they were considered as all saints, meaning the life they lived considered to be people who would have gone to heaven. And all souls would have included everybody, whether you were drunk or whether you were a sinner, whether you were being considered as a pagan, whatever it was. So this November 2nd was commemorated as or remembered as the day to remember everybody that died. So all the dead are remembered on November 2nd. But on the first, the dead remember the saints, those who were considered as the most righteous people, I guess. Those one were the priests, the pastors, the deacons, maybe senior leaders of the church. Those were people who, I guess, after the past, they were remembered on November 1st. But again, as the reading goes, the Britannica is telling us that in the 19th century, October 31st, all of these days were enacted or were comprised or were made to be celebrated on October the 31st. So instead of November 1st and 2nd, on the 31st of October, the day was to be celebrated. So that is what left from the 9th century up to today's day, October 31st, especially also in the United States, is being celebrated as Halloween. All right, so that's the basic information we have for you this morning. This is a short video we just thought today at our voice on the day itself. We have a special edition. So with just watch out. We will give you a full information. We'll be giving you, summary of what Halloween is. We'll be asking some of the questions people ask about Halloween. We'll tell you more about that. We'll be telling you about the fights and related content. Those things that relate to Halloween. We'll give you some summary information. And there might be some places, people ask a lot of questions. So if you are around, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, I will think about it. If I can also maybe primarily decide to see what I can ask, please ask questions, those who answer questions. Maybe they give somebody some flower, maybe like a $5 scratch card, those of you who will be home. Maybe I hope I don't forget. Don't or think and change where nothing constant. So, but I hope I can get that done on Halloween day. That will be the 31st of this month. Today is the 28th, so 28, 29, 30, 31st. So in the next 2 days, the third day, going to be Halloween day in the United States. And we have taken some pictures. We drove around. We have some real scary pictures. Now people feel like, but American children are not afraid of these things. I don't know why. Sometimes even we the older people, like there's a picture that I had to stop. I was driving, but I had to stop and take a picture because it's like you see the huge individual, and it's like a big statue, but it's a scary statue, right? Halloween people put a lot of scary stuff out there. Even Amazon sells a lot of costumes, and so we will do all that we can to bring you some short and interesting video. If I can get somebody who can give more information, we'll also be glad to have people come in to also explain to you what it means to say, okay, this is Halloween. This is how we celebrate Halloween. Why people celebrate Halloween in America. All right. So yeah, we will not stop. We will do all that we can to indeed celebrate what Halloween is. So hey, don't go away. Stay with us. We're going to be here and celebrate Halloween on the 31st of 31st of October. Okay. Having said those, that's how we want to end the program. It's just a short program we thought to create. Thank you so much. Have a pleasant and a wonderful day. Okay.